Every time that you do a change or an add-on, you need to let the client know what's going to happen when it comes to the dollar costing, as well as the projected time that that's going to take. In a client's mind, they don't understand. They may have only given you this much of what they really wanted to start with, and that's where they start. And they come right about there, and then they go, well, if I can trust them with that much and they seem to know what they're doing, I'll give them the rest. And so you can start a job with somebody, and you know, Heather, you're in the insurance industry, they might only give you one small chunk and see how you do with it. That's very common. Paul, I'll give you a little bit, see if you can, you know, if it works, I'll go from, you know, farther. Same thing. Kurt, here we go. You got that too? We all start with as much as we're comfortable with in the moment. And then if after, you know, especially when you think about the magnitude of whatever it is we accomplish, then we'll turn around, we'll add to it. We all do that as human nature. So you want to let them know that if you're there standing on the job, and you know, people will tell you, just charge me effectively, just say, okay, well, I really want you to know what that's, you know, this comes to, so you're not surprised by the bill, and we'll negotiate it. Bingo, 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 done. Right? And if they say, yeah, I trust you, you know, that sounds good, that price is good, you're done, it's over. It's as quick and easy as it needs to be made. But that part about the communication is critical to what you're doing. If you're not doing it, there's going to be a problem at some point, I guarantee it. Because they're going to get the bill and go, right? The fellow that did my siding, good friend of mine now, didn't know him before, he came as a referral. He did the siding on my house. I said to him, give me a price. He gave me a price of around, I think it was, I don't know, whatever. I'm going to make up some numbers, $5,000 or $6,000 to do the siding to start with. And then I said, like that, know the work that you're doing is good, but now I need this. And at some point he pulled me off the side and said, well, this job has radically changed. And I said, I'm keenly aware of that. Now at the end of the job, we were well over 10,000 bucks. We were $12,000 or $14,000 because I kept asking him to do other things. He did a phenomenal job and at a very reasonable price. Because as I started to see what he was capable of, I started giving him more work because there was other things that I would have had to get other contractors to do. So the job got bigger. It wasn't the, you know, apples to apples. We're now completely, it was like compared to an orange. And the bottom line was he did an exceptional job. And at one point he said, well, I feel really bad about charging you for this and all that. So I said, look, I know we're friends now, but the bottom line is you got to eat. I don't expect you to work for nothing. I understand that you're working efficiently and quickly, and if there's a problem with that, I'd let you know. But the bottom line is, I'm looking at it from how many days you've been here. This started off as only a 4-day or 5-day job, and it's now been, you know, a month and a half. We're in a different zone now, you know. So things have happened for you, but things have also happened here. So this is what we need to do. We need to make it right so you get paid, and that's how it should go. Now, when you've got your client alliance set up, you know, you can go to bed at night knowing you've done whatever you can physically and honestly to make it so you're going to have less problems, less concerns, less hassles, better pay, better accounts receivable, all of those things. If you don't do it, you're going to have all the other problems that exist. So my encouragement is know what you stand for, know how you do business, and let the client know. Shane, ever do any free work?
No.
Have you ever done any? See, you can choose. He lies about other things too. You can choose what you give away for value add, but if the client requests it, you know, you got to kind of go, okay, where do I start my add-on process? Because something that seems little to them, as you all know, can be different in your process.
It's that separating from friend or business to friendly. Like you try to be buddies.
Yep.
And help.
Yeah, you do have to know where you start as a person and where you end as a person. So the point being is, you know, you can decide who and how and when. Workflow and process, great place to have problems. If you've got an ex-client that expects that you're going to have certain things done in 2 weeks, and you know for a fact that the initial part's only going to take 2 weeks, or that you can't get it in to that particular point in time, that's what's going to happen. Or if you're waiting for the client to make some decisions, you know, you folks that are in the trades and you're actually installing all the stuff, if you're waiting for them to make all the decisions, you might have time to deal with it on Tuesday, but if they don't get you the right information, you can't move forward, you can't order, you can't get the parts. So all of a sudden on you know, Monday night, they phone you up, oh yeah, we can start tomorrow morning. You go, well, no, it's going to take 2 weeks to get the parts. You have to let them know what your time frame is. Let them know what their responsibility is, which is another category on here as well, and what your responsibility is. I don't take responsibility for things I don't have control over. Why? Because that's insane. Golly gee whiz, you know what I mean? It's insane to actually turn around and do that, so we don't want to have that problem, right? If your client needs to be part of this interaction and they don't come to the table, You come into their home or you come into their place of business and you're expecting certain things to be done in advance so you could do your job, and all of a sudden they want you to do that. It's an add-on, and you need to understand that. You need to turn around and get that going. Tim's in the audiovisual arena, and if he wants to go into a home and the contractor that's there, he's putting all the tubing and all the wires, and when he gets there the wire is not effective because they didn't actually meet the specifications that he actually requested for, can you be held responsible for that?
It's in my terms and conditions.
Right. Wisdom. You've already had this problem a few times, right? So again, if your client's going to do things to turn around and aid in the process, and you're not in control of everything, let them know their responsibility in that. So if they cheap out or they gauge it all or do something of that nature, it's going to change it completely.